In the early 1990s, Subaru Technica International and British motorsport specialist ProDrive set out to create a rally car that could take on the world. After campaigning the bigger Legacy RS, the team switched to the smaller, more agile Subaru Impreza, the perfect platform for Group A competition. Launched in 1993, the Group A Impreza made its debut mid-season, and it would fast become one of the most feared cars in the sport. McRae, Sainz, Vatanen and Burns all took the wheel along with many others, and it would be 1995 when they really stamped their authority on the World Rally Championship, doing the double, with McRae taking the driver's title and Subaru taking their first manufacturer's title in front of the delighted crowd at Chester Racecourse at the finish of the RAC Rally. Unfortunately for McRae, he wouldn't be able to repeat that success in 1996. But the points gained by McRae and his teammates that season would give Subaru a second consecutive title. It wasn't just on the world stage, though, that the Group A Subaru was doing the business. It would be the car of choice for many domestic championship campaigns too. Drivers such as Bertie Fisher in Ireland would campaign an Impreza in the Irish Tarmac Championship after switching from the Legacy, eventually taking the title in 1996. In 1997, the World Rally Car regulations arrived, and with them, the Impreza WRC, the first of many wide-bodied evolutions of the car. McRae stayed with the team for 2 more seasons in the new World Rally Car, and had now been joined by co-driver Nicky Grist. Once again, McRae wouldn't manage to claim the driver's title, but the points gathered would help Subaru to their 3rd championship in as many years, and the first victory for the new generation of World Rally Cars.
Well, obviously jumping in a car with Colin in Subaru, the iconic 555 and blue livery of the car, that was a lovely time. And, these cars there's so much effort goes into the building of them, and not just the building of them, the testing and the development, which is something a lot of people never see.
97 would be the last manufacturer's title that Subaru would take, but a return to the team for Richard Burns after a few seasons with Mitsubishi would see him and Robert Reed take the driver's title in a Subaru in 2001 in a close battle with McRae, who had now moved to Ford. The early 2000s brought Petter Solberg to the forefront of the sport, known for his relentless energy and never-give-up style, and nicknamed Hollywood. Solberg drove the Impreza to the 2003 World Drivers' Championship and would stay with Subaru for just over 8 years, driving several updated versions of the Impreza World Rally Car in this time with the team. And although neither of them would win another title, they were still competitive throughout their time at the World Championship.
It's fantastic, to be honest with you, when you are winning your first rally and and getting a world champion with Subaru. It's for sure special. And in my museum, I have also the 6-cylinder Subaru Legacy hatchback, and I have the Petter Solberg edition car, chassis number 0, and never been driven ever since it came from Japan when they made the Petter Solberg edition Subaru. So yeah, it's means a lot for me.
While the factory WRC team battled for the overall titles in the World Championship, production-based Impreza STIs dominated Group N and the National Series. In the UK, Mark Higgins took the British Rally Championship title in 2006 in Group N spec cars, proving the Impreza's strength even in a spec not much beyond what you could buy yourself from the showroom.
I think it was one of the first cars that sort of came about, which was almost ready to go as a rally car, taken on from what, Colin and the boys were doing, and Richard, who we very much grew up with. And when they bought the Group N Subaru, it was one of the first sort of competitive four-wheel drive cars that you could go out and buy and take on the stages. And we've had a great sort of career with them through ProDrive, rallying all over the world, and obviously the TT with Subaru as well. And more laterally with the P25, which I've been involved in as well. So I've got lots of fond memories of the car. And, I think rallying in Ireland is one of my favourite places to rally the car with the Pirelli car. It's a pretty cool car, yeah.
Across the Atlantic, Subaru Motorsports USA, managed by Vermont Sports Car, became the dominant force in American rallying, with the UK's David Higgins and America's Travis Pastrana responsible for a number of victories at the wheel of a Subaru in the last 20 years. Despite Subaru no longer taking part in the World Rally Championship, Subaru Rally Team USA have been proactive in keeping the brand at the top of the sport, campaigning up-to-date versions of the Impreza in the American Championship.
You know, it's in the US, like Subaru is, if you rally and you want to be up front, you're rallying a Subaru. It's almost strange to come over here in WRC and everything with different homologation rules. There's no Subarus in WRC anymore. It's kind of sad, but it's really fun to come over here and see how many Subaru fans there are and how many people, especially we even look at the other top rally drivers, they were asked, you know, what car could you drive? You could drive a car, and 3 of the 4 guys on the stage said they would drive a Group A Subaru, and that's really cool. You know, it's something that a lot of people have grown up, you know, being a huge fan, and you know, even in the U.S. now with it being so popular, and you know, Scott Snead coming and you know, winning races and championships and you know, rallycross, it's been really cool to see the brand continue on.
From McRae's inimitable, spectacular style to Burns' precision and Solberg's showmanship, the Subaru Impreza became more than just a rally car. It was, and still is, a global rallying icon.